Hare Krishna. So, welcome everyone for our Saturday afternoon Bhakti Vriksha program, and we'll be continuing with our discussion from last time, the lessons from the life of King Chitraketu. So, we'll start with Kirtan and then we'll continue with our discussion. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Gopi Jana Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Rama Hare Rama Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Jaya Radha Kunj Bihari Radha Kunj Bihari Radhe Jaya Radha Gopi Jana Vallabha Radha Gopi Jana Vallabha Radhe Jaya Radha Shyam Sundar Radha Shyam Sundar Radhe Jaya Radha Madan Mohan Radha Madan Mohan Radhe Jaya Radha Govinda Radha Govinda Radhe Jaya Radha Gopinath Radha Gopinath Radhe Jaya Radha Gopinath Radha Gopinath Radhe Jaya Gaura Gauranitai Jaya, Gauranitai Jaya, Gauranitai Jaya, Gauranitai. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. श्री राधा गोपीजन वल्लभ भगवान की, श्री निताय पतित पावन गौर हरि की, अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की, श्रील प्रभुपाद की. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories, all glories, all glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. Shri Prabhupada ki. Hare Krishna. Once again, welcome everyone. So we are discussing pastime of King Chitraketu from 6th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. And before that, we talked about description of Vritrasura and the past life of Vritrasura. Now we are talking about King Chitraketu. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. 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 Om Ajnanatimmirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langhayate girim Yat kripatamaham vande Shri Guru Dinatarinim Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanyeshwaram. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Namo Mahavedanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gaurashe Namaha. Panchatattvatam Krishnam Bhaktarupa Swarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakhyam Namami Bhaktashaktikam. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute. Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye. Vancha kalpatrubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Okay, Hare Krishna. So, quickly as a recap of what we discussed in the last session, King Chitraketu, even though King Chitraketu, he has everything what somebody can maybe desire for in terms of all the worldly opulences. He has a big kingdom, he has all the opulences, he has a young, strong body. Okay, so all those things are there. There is no problem in terms of health issues, wealth issues, but still King Chitraketu is lamenting. And what was the cause of his lamentation? Because he did not have any child. So we discussed, we may have so many things, all the great good fortune which we can think of, but if one thing is missing in life, person becomes miserable. If we forget about all the benedictions which we have, and we are focusing on one thing which is missing in our life, and that becomes the cause of misery. And a couple of days back, I think in our Bhagavad Gita reading, we defined what is misery. Okay, what is misery? What is the definition of misery?
Wish that is not satisfied.
Don't want actually. And
What is Mataji?
Wish that is not satisfied, or we don't get what we want.
Yeah, so the single line definition, if we want to really understand what is misery, to not get what you want and to get what you don't want. Right? Both things are there. So to not get what you want, that's a misery. And also to get what you don't want is also misery. So sometimes if the parents force the child to eat one particular thing which he doesn't want to eat, it's a misery for the child, right? And we all do not want old age. Still the old age comes, and that's a misery. We don't want to get sick, but the disease comes, so that's a misery. So to not get what you want and to get what, or sorry, to not get what you want and to get what you don't want. So King Chitraketu, because he badly wanted a son and he did not have a son, that was the cause of his misery. That was the cause of his lamentation. And people in life generally, they become religious people. And the purpose of becoming religious is so that we can get our desires fulfilled. Many people are religious from that point of view that, okay, if we are religious, then we can ask for our wish list from Devi Devatas, from the sadhus. So when we come in the association of sadhus, when we happen to meet some sadhu, people generally ask for some blessings, some boons. Maharaj, हमें ये आशीर्वाद दीजिए. क्या आशीर्वाद चाहिए? हमें एक पुत्र प्राप्ति हो जाए, हमें धन की प्राप्ति हो जाए, हमें यूएस के ग्रीन कार्ड की प्राप्ति हो जाए. So generally people have that kind of desires, and we take to religiosity also for that purpose, to get our desires fulfilled. So King Chitraketu, when Angira Rishi came to the palace of King Chitraketu, what is Chitraketu's main motive? He is receiving Angira Rishi very respectfully, served him very nicely, washed his feet, gave him a good asan to sit. But ultimately, what is his desire? That some great sadhu has come to my palace and maybe he can help me to fulfill my desire. वो मुझे आशीर्वाद देंगे तो उनके आशीर्वाद से पुत्र प्राप्ति हो सकती है. So that is in the back of the mind. And Angira Muni, understanding where Chitraketu Maharaj's mind is absorbed right now, he is not in a mood to hear pravachan. He is not in a mood to hear the philosophical lecture that you are not the body, you are the spirit soul. Ultimately, you should start your connection with the Supreme Lord. So he is not in a mood to hear that. Because unless a person who is very hungry, what does he want? Food. No matter if you give him something else, he will not be satiated, he will not be satisfied. So Angira Rishi, he gave him a blessing that, okay, I will perform a yajna for you. I will give you the benediction out of the yajna. Because of the result of yajna, your queen will be able to beget a child. But remember, that son will become the cause of your jubilation also. That son will become the cause of your suffering also. And King Chitraketu, he heard only the first part. The son will be the cause of your jubilation. He did not even hear the second part. Right? The son will become the cause of your suffering also. And his name will be Harsha Shok. Harsha, who gives happiness. Shoka, who gives suffering. Now up to here, it's okay. So yajna is performed. He gave the payasam out of that yajna to his eldest queen. What is the name of the queen? Kritadyuti. So Kritadyuti, she bare a child, and now this child is born. Everybody is so happy. King Chitraketu becomes so attached to the child. He's spending all his time with the child. So Chitraketu, Kritadyuti, and Harsha Shok, they become one team. King Chitraketu is not fulfilling all his responsibility towards his citizenship. He is not fulfilling any responsibility towards other queens. He's completely started neglecting them. And because of that, these other queen, they become envious. So they develop so much envy, and that envy ultimately comes out in the action. What did they do? They decided to kill the child. So this child is the cause of our suffering now. Because they were suffering. Now we are not getting any time with our husband. He is spending all the time with only that queen who gave birth to the child. He's spending all his time with that child only. So they developed so much envy to the extent that they decided to poison the child. So the child was dead. Now King Chitraketu is lamenting like anything because he developed so much attachment with the son. And once the child is dead and King Chitraketu heard the news, he came running there and he is falling practically unconscious at the feet of the child. And seeing King Chitraketu crying, all the ministers are crying, all the citizens are crying, because when king is not happy, basically the whole citizenship, whole citizen, the whole kingdom suffers. And all these queens who plan to kill the child, they're also crying. Right? Just externally, they are also showing as if they are also very much affected. So King Chitraketu is now under so much of lamentation again because his son is killed. He is again grasped with sorrow. And what is the cause of his sorrow now? Earlier, the cause of lamentation was no child. Now the cause of sorrow is the child is dead. Right? And ultimately, when there was no child earlier and now the child is dead, in both situations, it is because of excessive attachment. Right? There is excessive attachment, or we can say expectation. So our attachments and expectations, they lead to sorrow. They lead to misery. And we can see in our lives also. If some point of time you become morose, if you become disappointed, that is because of our attachments or our expectations. Because when those things are not fulfilled, it leads to sorrow. It leads to suffering. It leads to depression. Now, in case of King Chitraketu, that was the loss of son. But in our situation, it could be loss of something in our life also. So something, lost the job, right? And because they thought that my identity is with this designation. And if somebody loses that designation, somebody loses that job, it becomes such an unbearable pain. And we see people go to the extent of committing suicide also. My life is over. Why? Because our modern education does not teach how to deal with these situations. Example, there is a student and the student is preparing for entrance exam to a medical college or engineering college. In their college, maybe that student is topper. But now at the national level, they are doing this entrance exam. And if the student fails the entrance exam, in their own college, they are the topper, but they failed in the entrance exam. Now there is such a big depression. They think, now what are others going to think about me? I'm not even able to crack this JEE exam or NET exam. It's a medical college entrance or engineering college entrance exams. So they go to such an extent that they commit suicide. Why? What is the cause of this suffering? Excessive attachment or expectation. Sometimes we have too much expectation from ourselves also, isn't it? You have too much expectation from yourself, and when you are not able to fulfill or you're not able to demonstrate that level of performance, you think I'm good for nothing, I'm useless person, what are others going to think about me? And we forget about all the opportunities what the life offers, and one is ready to just completely give up the life. So from the scriptures, there are so many examples. Now there is an example of Chitraketu, who was fully depressed, completely now grasped by sorrowness after losing the son. But there are some other examples also from the scripture which give us hope, right? Where there are so many exemplary devotees who show this attitude of renunciation, who show this disposition of detachment. When some such situation came in their life, how did they act? Can anybody think of any other example from the scripture? When somebody was put into trouble or somebody had to face that situation, what did they do in that situation? Prahlad, example of Prahlad Maharaj is there. Parikshit Maharaj.
Shri Ram.
Lord Ramachandra. Yeah, Lord Ramachandra is example. He is going to be made the king. He is going to be crowned as a king of the Ayodhya, but next day is told now you have to go for exile for 14 years. So that's a great example. Pandavas are a great example. They were exiled for 13 years, 12 years to forest and 1 year incognito. So total 13 years. Draupadi, right? So these are all great examples. Let's discuss maybe a couple of other examples from scriptures. Now we know the pastime of Dhruva Maharaj, right? Now in the situation of Dhruva Maharaj, he's a 5-year-old boy. He wanted to sit in the lap of his father, Uttanapad, and his stepbrother Uttama is sitting in one lap, on one thigh of Uttanapad. He also wanted to climb up onto the throne, and he also wanted to sit in the lap of his father. But as he tried to do, his stepmother chastises him. How dare you are trying to sit? You cannot sit there. And she scolds him like anything, insults him, and all the maidservants are also there. So this boy, he is so much affected by the behavior of his mother, Suruchi. He goes running to his mother, Suniti. Okay, his real mother, Suniti. He is crying, he is breathing heavily. And before he reaches his mother, Suniti, the news has already reached that what happened to Dhruva, that how he was chastised, he was scolded, and so he is very upset, he is crying. Now, in general, if your son gets into a fight with some neighbor's children and he comes running to you, Mama, this child, he beat me up, or his mother or his father scolded me, what will you do? In general situation, what will we do? What will we do? You will catch the hand of the child and come with me. Let's see who told you like this. Okay, isn't it? I mean, let me see who is this child who beat you, or who is this neighbor how dare they are trying to scold you. So you come with me. But what did Suniti do? Suniti didn't say, Dhruva, come with me. मैं सुरुचि की खबर लेती हूँ, अभी चलो मेरे साथ, मैं बताती हूँ उसको. But what did Suniti say? So, my dear child, actually all this misery, whatever comes in life, is given by the Supreme Lord. It's all because of our own karma. And if we really want to get something, only our eternal Father, Supreme Father, Lord Krishna, He can give anything in life, whatever you want. So you better pray to the Supreme Lord. So that is the disposition of detachment. Rather than becoming completely affected by that particular situation, trying to stay composed and being dependent on the Supreme Lord. So she not only kept herself calm, she guided her son also, that who is the real shelter. Okay, so that is one great example. Another example, Vidura. Okay, now Vidura, he is half brother of Dhritarashtra, and he is the minister. He is kind of prime minister for Hastinapur. He has been trying to give good counsel to Dhritarashtra every time, but Duryodhana has no regard for Vidura, because he considered Vidura as a Dasi Putra, son of a maidservant. Now, when this peace negotiation is going on and Vidura is trying to give a good counsel to Dhritarashtra that you should give the rightful share to the Pandavas, and you should try to guide your son Duryodhana. At that time, Duryodhana is hearing. He is telling Duryodhana is Mand Buddhi, he doesn't know what he is doing. He is going to cause the complete destruction of the whole Kuru dynasty. And Duryodhana is hearing, and he becomes so angry. He says, get out of this place right now. He's telling his uncle, he's telling Vidura, get out of this place right now, leaving everything here. Just get out of this place, taking your breath only. Leave everything else here. Just imagine. Now also, if somebody speak to elderly person like this, it's unthinkable of, right, to treat our elders like that. 5,000 years ago, the culture is such that the elderly people are not to be even given a verbal fight. And at that time, Duryodhana is speaking so harshly to Vidura. But what was the Vidura's reaction at that time? Did he start pleading to Dhritarashtra? No, try to teach your son. What is he speaking? Try to correct him. How can you throw me out of the palace? Vidura did not even for a moment think of that I will leave, I will lose all my luxuries, my comforts of all that, and I have to leave everything. Vidura immediately, he left everything and he thought this is the right opportunity for me. Krishna has arranged for this opportunity for me to give up everything and go to the holy places. Okay, so right now I was so much entrapped because of the responsibilities. So Krishna is making this arrangement for me to give up everything and go for pilgrimage. So Vidura took that as a positive opportunity. Another example from Chaitanya Charitamrita. Same situation of what happened to King Chitraketu. King Chitraketu lost his son and he is so depressed, he is crying. There is another pastime from Chaitanya Charitamrita. Same situation. Who is that person? Srivas Thakur. Okay. So in Panchatattva, we say 5 personalities, right? Can somebody recite Panchatattva Pranam mantra? So there are 5 people in this mantra. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Okay, so Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Prabhu Nityananda. Nityananda Prabhu. Shri Advaita. Advaitacharya. Gadadhar. So Gadadhar Pandit. And Srivas Adi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. So Srivas Thakur, who is one of the 5 great personalities here in this Panchatattva mantra. and he is the closest associate of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, every evening he will go to Srivasangan to do his kirtan. And very few people are allowed to participate in that kirtan. Okay? It's not that it's a open door public program. So only very few selected people can participate in that kirtan of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, every evening he will come, the whole night the kirtan will go on behind the walls, behind the closed doors. And one evening, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came and he is doing this Sankirtan. He is dancing in ecstasy. And at that time, Shivas started hearing some noise from inside the house. Okay? Women were crying. And Shrivas became very upset, thinking, I don't know why they are crying and it will disturb the Kirtan of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Shrivas, he went inside to see what happened. And what did he see? His young son has died. Okay, so son of Shrivas Thakur has died. His wife is crying that, oh, my son, he is gone. My son has died, and she is crying. And Shrivas Thakur comes there. What was the reaction of Shrivas Thakur? Did he also fell unconscious at the feet of his child and started crying, oh, my son, where have you gone? So Shrivas Thakur, rather, he told his wife, stop crying. If you keep crying, it will disturb the Kirtan of Mahaprabhu. And if Mahaprabhu's Kirtan is disturbed, I will not be able to tolerate that. I will give up my life. So if you don't stop crying, I will drown myself into Ganges and I will give up my life also. Your son has lost, but the opportunity to see the Kirtan and dancing of Mahaprabhu doesn't happen all the time. So that is the greatest opportunity we have to hear the Kirtan of Mahaprabhu. So stop crying. We can cry later. हम लोग बाद में रो लेंगे. Right now, this is not the time to cry. So he told his wife, put a piece of, if you cannot stop yourself from crying, you can cry, but put a piece of cloth in your mouth so the voice doesn't come out. Can you imagine? So that is the mood of Shrivas Thakur. So he tells everybody to keep quiet and comes out again, start dancing in Kirtan with Mahaprabhu. And somehow, little later after, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he stops. He says, Shriva, somehow today I'm not feeling that ecstasy. What happened? Did something happen? And then others told Mahaprabhu that his son has passed away. And Mahaprabhu went inside. Dancing, he went inside, and the dead body of Shrivas Thakur's son is lying there. And Mahaprabhu is saying, hey, what happened? Oh, dear child, why are you still sleeping? Get up. So Mahaprabhu made the child, he held his hand, and the child woke up. Okay, so the child came back to the life, and Mahaprabhu kind of make him stand, and at that time, this child spoke. Similar to what we are hearing here in the pastime of Chitraketu, that Narada Muni brings the child back into the body, the dead body, and this child start giving instruction to Chitraketu Maharaj. Same thing happened in the life of Shrivas Thakur also. Okay? So Shrivas Thakur's son was dead and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is performing Kirtan. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu brings the child back. And at that time, the child starts speaking. And the instruction which that child, Shrivas Thakur's son gave is very similar to what Chitraketu's son is giving. Actually, what does Shrivas Thakur's son also say? That actually I was on the way to my next destination. Okay? Because of our result of our karma, we get different bodies. We keep going from one body to another body. So I was on the way to my next destination and you have brought me back here. So these are some other examples from the scripture which we can see that how other devotees have reacted in such situation when some calamity comes. So when calamity comes, we should treat it as arrangement of the Supreme Lord. Either it's because of our own karma, that okay, now I just handle it gracefully rather than becoming too much depressed because of that situation. Because these situations, they will keep coming in this material world. in our life, this situation will keep coming. We cannot escape from this situation. As long as you have this body, there will be always some suffering or other going on. So it's up to us how we deal with those situations, how we deal with our lamentations, how we deal with our situation of any other misery when our desires and expectations are not fulfilled. Now, when King Chitraketu is crying so much, at that time again Angira along with Narada Muni comes. Okay, we discussed this also briefly. I'm trying to go a little more deeper now. So Angira Muni had first come by himself and he blessed Chitraketu with the sun. And this time Angira had brought Narada Muni also with him. And that is one of the preaching strategy. Okay, so preaching strategy is what? Sometimes somebody whom you cannot, maybe you cannot make somebody understand on your own. It's better to take help from somebody else who is better in preaching. And it goes other way also. Sometimes somebody may be very senior, and that time also they are not able to make somebody understand. They need to take help of a junior also sometime to relate with that person. Okay, I can give you example from both sides. So here is the example. One is Angira Muni. He brought Narada Muni with him. That this King Chitraketu is a hard cookie. He is not maybe able to make him understand to the full level. So he's taking help of Narada Muni also. So sometime in our Chaitanya Mahaprabhu uses the same method. Right? Go as a team for Sankirtan, for book distribution or for preaching. Rather than one person going, go as a team. So Haridas Thakur and Nityananda Prabhu will go together for preaching. And sometimes somebody is good in speaking, but he is not very good in singing. Right? Just like me. So somebody is not a good singer, but maybe, okay, well-to-do in maybe speaking. So what is the method to follow? Take somebody else, other devotee who is good in singing. So at least that person can do kirtan, and the person who is good in speaking, he can do the speaking part. So somebody who is good in singing, if he goes to the preaching program, he can do only kirtan, but he cannot maybe give the class. So better take somebody who can speak also. So just maybe cover your weakness using the help from somebody else. So Angira Muni, he takes Narada with him, and Narada Muni start instructing Angira this time when Narada Muni started instructing Chitraketu now. When Chitraketu is fully depressed, he is falling practically unconscious at the feet of his son. So Narada Muni instruct some very good example or good analogies which Narada Muni gives. One was as a small particle of sand come together when the wind blows, but then again those particles get separated. So that is one example. So Narada Muni is telling that, okay, in our life, you will get somebody in your life and they will leave also. Because nothing is permanent in this world. We develop some relations and then we lose those people. In our life, we can see so many people came and went. Isn't it? When you were in elementary school, you have certain friends. Then you change the school, you made some new friends and you lost your previous friends. You went to college, you lost your school friends and you made new friends. Then you get to some job, you move to a different city. Slowly you lose contact with your previous friends and you make new friends. So these keep going on in life. Right? People come in our life and they go. Same thing in relations also. Somebody become our relative and they leave also. You do not keep relation throughout the life. Same person who may be thinking, I cannot live without you. Later they may say, I cannot live with you now. Isn't it? So another example is basically, let's say a new neighbor moves into your neighborhood. Okay, just right next to your house, somebody moved into that house. And as they come, they knock on your door and you greet them nicely. You are become some kind of a good relation. But if you throw little garbage in front of their door, next day they will come and start fighting with you. Earlier, you became friend, but then next moment you can become enemy also. These things are very common in India. Here you may not see as much. Okay. So in India, you put your trash a little bit outside, and even if some dog comes or some other stray animal come and they drag that trash and it goes in front of some other neighbor's house, they will think, "Arey, you put your trash in front of my house," and they will start fighting with you. And then you're doing some construction work at your home. You're building maybe a wall, raising the wall a little high, and you encroach upon 1 inch, 2 inch onto the neighbor's property. Just 1 inch, 2 inch, it went little on their side. They will start fighting. Hey, how come you are encroaching upon my property? So the same people who considered as friend earlier, then become into enemies. So these relation doesn't last forever. People will come and go in our life. And Narad Muni gives another very beautiful example to Chitraketu Maharaj. He says, when we sow the seed in the ground, basically when you sow the seed, you throw multiple seeds in the ground. Some seeds will sprout, some seeds will not sprout. Right? So maybe some seed is not potent enough to sprout into plant. And sometime you throw the seed, the land itself is barren. Land is not potent. So the seed will not sprout in that case also. So same way, Narad Muni is saying that sometime a prospective father, being impelled by the potency of the Supreme Lord, sometime he is able to beget a child, sometime he is not able to beget a child. Okay. So it is ultimately the potency of the Lord only. So he makes somebody as an instrument to beget a child. Sometimes he doesn't make that person capable of begetting a child. Now he is indicating to Chitraketu's previous situation when he was so much lamenting for not having a son. So Narada Muni is indicating that situation that okay, it happens. Sometimes a person is able to beget a child and sometimes he is not able to beget. Ultimately, even if somebody is able to beget the child, he should not start thinking this is my child. This is my property. Why? Whose property is that? Ultimately, it belongs to Krishna. You are just an instrument to bring that child into the world. One very nice example I heard to explain this point is, let's say if you take a pen and a paper and you do your signature on the paper. Do the signature belong to the pen or to the paper? No. Whose signature is that? To whom that signature belongs? To the person. The same way the Supreme Lord, he uses the man as a pen and woman as the paper to create the signature. So he is using the man and a woman to give birth to a child. But the man and woman start thinking, oh, this child is our child. He belongs to us. He's our property. But whom that child belongs? To the Supreme Lord. Because ultimately it's his potency. He has made that father and mother as an instrument to bring the child into this world. So developing that too much attachment becomes the cause of misery. Either because of losing the child or if the child does not fulfill your expectations. Because when we develop so much attachment to our children or family members, if they do not fulfill those expectations, that also leads to so much misery, isn't it? If from the very birth of the child, you start developing that feeling, I want this child to become a doctor. Happens, right? In India, it's very common again. As soon as a child is born, they put a stamp. ठप्पा लगा दिया उसके ऊपर, इसको तो इंजीनियर बनाना है, इसको तो डॉक्टर बनाना है. And throughout the life, as the child is growing up, that is what the parents' expectation is, parents' desire is. ये बच्चा आगे चल के डॉक्टर बनेगा, इंजीनियर बनेगा, हमारा नाम रोशन करेगा. That is our expectation. And as the child grows, goes to high school, 10th standard, 12th standard, and you are thinking he's going to go into medical field or engineering field, but the child says, no, I don't want to become a doctor. I don't want to become an engineer. No, you have to become a doctor. Why I have to become a doctor? See, शास्त्र में लिखा है क्या मुझे आगे चल के डॉक्टर बनना है? क्या ये शास्त्र प्रमाण है क्या? No, but I am doctor. Your mother is a doctor. Your grandfather is a doctor. All your uncles are doctor. So your mother's side, everybody is doctor. Father's side, everybody is doctor. You have to become a doctor. And the child says, no, I don't want to become a doctor. I want to take to maybe some performing arts. But the child want to go do something else. And the parent becomes so depressed by that. Why? Because their desires, their expectations are not met. And that later on, if at some point of time, if we come to these terms, that yes, I am an individual being, and my child is also an individual being. Ultimately, they have their free will. We are two individual beings. So if we do not start developing so much attachment and expectations, then you can stay happy in this world. What does Krishna say in Bhagavad Gita? These desires will come like the rivers flow to the ocean. But somebody who can control these desires, right, that person can become peaceful. Right? And generally I give this example. A person goes to a sadhu and he tells the sadhu, Maharaj kuch bataiye, मैं शांत होना चाहता हूँ. Please tell me, I want to become peaceful. And what does the sadhu say? बच्चा पहले इच्छाओं को शांत करो. If you want to become peaceful, pacify your desires. So because of all our unfulfilled desires, expectations, these things keep troubling us. So the Supreme Lord, he creates by engaging a father to beget a son. He maintains by engaging a government or a king to see to the public welfare. And sometimes he engages the agents of killing for the purpose of destruction. Agents of killing in terms of sometimes it could be snake also, right? Snake bite and person dies. Or sometimes it could be some other calamity. So the Supreme Lord, he is the creator, maintainer, and destructor. He creates by engaging a father to beget a son. He maintains by engaging somebody to look to the public welfare, like our governments and all these things. So they are also agent of the Lord only. But the problem is everybody start thinking themselves as an independent creator or independent maintainer. Right? Just like we start thinking ourselves independent creator, right? That I am the father. I gave birth to this child. But we are not the independent creator. We are the agent of the Supreme Lord. And so it is Krishna only who makes different people, different agents as his medium, by a medium for the purpose of creation, maintenance, and destruction. And we should maintain that mindset, that attitude, that ultimately I am caretaker only, I am the custodian only. Just another example, let's say if you are the gardener, and there is a owner of the garden, you are the gardener. So the owner has given you all the facilities, all the resources. He has given you the nice soil, he has given you the seed. So gardener takes all that, he makes the ground ready and he plants those seeds. Now let's say so many nice flowers have grown. Now, but if the gardener, he start plucking all the flower and he takes to his home, will that be the right thing? The gardener will say, Arey, this is all my hard work only. I prepared the garden, I planted the flowers, so now the flowers are blossoming, so it's my property, I will take those flowers. But it is ultimately the property of the garden, of the owner of the garden. He has given you all the facilities, he has appointed you to take care of that, and in exchange he is giving you your salary. But ultimately everything, whatever flowers will grow, whatever other crop will grow, it's the property of the owner only. Same way we should think that Krishna is the owner, I am the gardener, and by using me, Krishna has created many other living entities also. So they are all property of Krishna. They all belong to Krishna. I am the caretaker only, right? So our children, our son, daughter, they are the nice flowers which has blossomed, but ultimately they are the property of the Supreme Lord. I'm just the gardener, I'm the caretaker only. So if we deal with everything with that mindset, then you can stay peaceful. So it's not that we should not show affection. Yes, we have to be affectionate, but there is a difference in being attached versus being affectionate. Okay? Understand that difference between attachment and affection. Who want to say? What is the difference in attachment and affection?
Affection is being like performing your duties without having like sense of ownership or lordship. And then attachment is like having attached with the business, what how that child is going to behave.
Yeah. So attachment and affection. In attachment, you start developing a sense of ownership, first of all, right? You have a sense of ownership, and you start having these expectations that he or she should do based on what I want, what I feel. And then you are so attached, even sometimes you are ready to do the wrong things also to fulfill their desires also. Yeah, you will support their wrongdoings also rather than correcting them. That is excessive attachment. In affection, you still take care of them nicely, just thinking yourself as the caretaker without considering them as your property. And you will not support the wrongdoings. You will try to correct them if they're doing anything wrong. In case of Dhritarashtra, he was too attached to Duryodhana. Right? He never corrected Duryodhana. He never stopped him from his wrongdoings. Because he was too attached, thinking if I stop him, if I correct him, he will do something. He will commit suicide. That was always Dhritarashtra's fear. So that is the example of too much attachment. And on the other side, we heard the example of Suniti. Suniti's relationship with Dhruva is of affection. So she is also affectionate to Dhruva, but she guides him. Okay, don't feel bad. What has happened to you? Ultimately, we should just approach the Supreme Lord. So giving the right guidance for the benefit of the child. So that is the difference between attachment and affection. Anywhere when we start taking to the spiritual life doesn't mean you should not show affection to your children. That is not our philosophy. What we are saying is don't have excessive attachment, because attachment is the source of misery. But still, we should have affection. We should have affection to everybody. Vasudeva Kutumbakam. Right? Everybody is in the family of the Supreme Lord. And we show affection to everybody. So in that way, now Narada Muni is trying to teach Chitraketu with different examples, and ultimately Narada Muni brings the child back to life. Again, Narada Muni is also using this tactic that, okay, Chitraketu, maybe I'm trying to teach him, he may not listen or he may not understand as well. Maybe let's bring the child back to life. And when the child speak, it will affect deeper to King Chitraketu. You can see sometimes people are so much attracted to when a small child speaks philosophy. Small child recite Bhagavad Gita shlokas or Bhagavatam shlokas. People are so impressed, isn't it? If a small child, there is a small child, Bhagavat, so many videos float around, a 6-year-old child, and he goes to so many people, invite him to their podcast and all that. And so many people listen because they are attracted seeing a small child speaking. So when a small child is speaking, sometimes it affects deeper the listener. So here in Narada is also using that same tactic. Let's bring the child back and he will speak, and that will maybe make Chitraketu understand. As I said earlier, right? That's also preaching strategy. Sometimes you need to utilize that preaching strategy. I will give you an example. once His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj, he was giving class, and there was one scientist who came. And at the end, he asked one question. So Maharaj answered. And Maharaj asked, so did it satisfy you? He said, partially. So the answer did not fully satisfy. It partially satisfied. I did not get my answer fully. So Maharaj, he told the devotees, you call this devotee. There was another disciple of Maharaj, another devotee in that congregation who also is a professor or a scientist. So Maharaj said, call that devotee. So that devotee came and Maharaj said, okay, now you both go and sit in the guest room, sit on the sofa and you talk. So Maharaj went to his room. After 30 minutes, Maharaj came back, and 30 minutes they both talked. And Maharaj came back and now asked, now are your questions answered? And this time he said, yes, fully. I am fully satisfied now. All my questions are answered. So why? Because sometimes you need the similar level person with whom that person can relate to, right? To get their answers. So a doctor maybe can preach to a doctor better, isn't it? Because they will be able to relate that, oh, this person is also doctor. He's also from the same background. He's also gone through all that. And that person will explain from the same background, from the same terminology, giving them maybe similar sort of examples. So the person will be able to relate. So it's all about relatability. Sometimes we cannot think, I am a big preacher and how come I have to take help from somebody else to preach this person? No, we should use the concept of relatability. If somebody can relate to this person better, so use their help to guide this person. So here Narada Muni brought the child back with his mystic power, and this child starts speaking. And when this child is speaking, at that time, he also gives very wonderful examples. And last time we did not go in detail about the verses which the child is mentioning here. So this child, first of all, he says, we all, according to the result of our karma, we go from one body to another body. As a living entity, we keep transmigrating from one body to another body. And that's because of the result of our karma. Sometimes we go to one species of life, sometimes to another species of life. So this child said, sometime I was in the animal body, sometime I was in the human body, sometime I was in the demigod body, sometime I was in the tree body. So I had so many lives. From which life are you my father and mother? Right? Because I had so many fathers and mother. From which life are you my father and mother? Because Narada Muni, the way he brought the child back, he was saying, oh child, be all the good fortune unto you. See, your father, mother, your relatives are crying so much. You know, our child has passed away, our child has passed away. They were desiring to give you the kingdom. They were desiring to make you the next king. They wanted to give all the opulences to you. So this child, as soon as he came back, he started speaking, from which lifetime are they my father and mother? I had so many lifetimes. And we keep going from one lifetime to another because of the result of our own karma. So we are choosing our own bodies. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Vasamsi jirnani yatha vihaya navani grahanati naroparani tatha sharirani vihaya jirnani anyani samyati navani dehi. So as we give up the old garments and put on the new garments, same way the living entity gives up the old body and accepts a new body. So who is deciding the new body? So our karma. Who is deciding the new body? It's our karma only. Our karma pays for the body, not decides the body. Our karma pays for the next body. But who is deciding? Desires. So we are desiring what type of body we want to get, and we use our karma to pay for that. And we have discussed this example so many times. If you go to buy clothes, right? If you go to buy clothes in any shop, the shopkeeper will ask you what type of cloth you want to buy. Do you want silk garment? Do you want cotton garment? What type of cloth you want to buy? And you say, okay, I want to buy cotton. And then the second question will be, what is your budget? Okay, what is your budget? Because we have cloth, cotton shirt, 500 rupees also. We have cotton shirt, pure cotton, linen, 5,000 rupees also. So what is your budget? You say my budget is up to 1,000 rupees. So the shopkeeper will say, okay, this aisle you see, in this aisle, all these different clothes, they are up to in the range of 500 to 1,000. So you can choose from there. The same way we desire that I want to live like this. And Krishna, based on how much karma balance we have in our pocket, in our bank balance, Krishna shows these are the different species which you can buy, okay, which will fit in your budget. You cannot become a demigod based on your karma balance. You have to adjust in these species only. So you have the tree species, the reptile species, this species. Among these species, you can choose. You can buy any of these dress based on your balance in your karmic account. So we choose our next destination based on our desire and based on our karma balance. So this child starts speaking like that we are going from one lifetime to another based on our karmic reaction, and we get a particular type of body. And then he says very important philosophical point. The child says, in different lifetimes, we develop so many different relations. And those relations also keep changing. Okay? So, bandhu gyati ari madhyastha mitro udasina vidvisha sarve eva hi sarvesham bhavanti karmasho mithahe. So this child is saying, sometime we are friends, bandhu, sometime we are relatives, we become each other relatives, sometime we become enemy also, Ari. Sometime we are mediators, right? You try to do mediator between two people. Sometime you are indifferent, you are just indifferent to the other person. Like we are living in this house, and the person sitting in the next house is completely indifferent to us. It doesn't care, right? What you are doing, what is happening. So we develop so many different relations. Sometimes we are friend, relative. In next life, the person who was your relative, he may become your enemy also. Same person. So these relationships keep changing. So now you are saying, I am your son, you are my father, but who knows what relation we had in the previous life? Maybe I was your enemy in the previous life. So what kind of disposition one person have? When such miserable situation come in life because of our own near and dear ones, one should think in this way, that this person is causing me so much misery right now. Maybe in my previous life he was my enemy, and now he has come in my life as my relative to give me misery only. Because sometimes it happens, right? The sun itself will cause so much misery. Sometimes there are real examples in Padma Puran, which goes in details based on different stories also. It says, if somebody has taken a loan and they did not pay off that loan, sometime the lender may come back in the next life becoming your relative, your son maybe, to forcibly take away everything from you. Because you did not pay the loan, what you had taken from that person in previous life. So he is now coming to take everything from you. तो अपना पूरा सब वसूल करने के लिए आ रहा है आपके जीवन में वो सूद समेत and with interest सूद समेत. So that is, these are the examples. So here Prabhupada writes in the purport of this verse that what this child is speaking, that okay, you are crying that you are my father, I am your son, and I have left you, but these relations keep changing. So Chitraketu instead should have thought that okay, maybe this child now who has come in my life as my son, in previous life maybe he was my enemy, and for the purpose of giving me pain only, he has come as my son and died earlier to give me pain. So should Chitraketu Maharaj cry in that situation with that thought process, or he should be jubilant and he should start distributing sweets? So actually he was my enemy only and my enemy has died now. So it's only the thought process. Basically, what it is teaching us is when some unfortunate situation goes in, unfortunate situation happen in life, some miserable situation in life, we can try to pacify ourselves with this different thought process, with the guidance from the scripture, thinking that, okay, I don't know what relation I had with that person in previous life, and why should I feel so much misery because of this person? Both of us are independent. Both of us are individuals. We had some relation earlier, we had some relation now, in future we may have some different relation. Yeah, ultimately we all continue to exist. Right? Krishna says that also in Bhagavad Gita, that none of these people who are assembled here, they were existing earlier also, they are existing now, and none of them will cease to exist in future also. So why are you feeling so much lamentation that, oh, I have to kill my relatives? So that is the instruction which is given here also. This child is speaking. So all these relations can change into a different relation. Somebody today may be husband and wife, tomorrow they may become enemy. Earlier there is so much love, and tomorrow they may have so much fight also. Okay. So, and the example which Bhagavatam gives is just like the gold and other commodities. They do not stay with the person forever. We keep passing on this gold and other commodities to different people. So you buy gold, you gave the money, and later on you may sell the gold with to other person also. So as soon as this gold or other commodities are sold, you do not have any further attachment to that thing. Right? Sometimes we have a 100 rupees note, and people here, it's not allowed. I think if you write anything on the dollars, they are not valid anymore, isn't it?
Yeah.
In India, people will do their signature. There's that right phone numbers also on that 100 rupees note, 500 rupees note, and they keep passing on to different places. But so when the note is with you, you have attachment with that note. This is my note, right? This is my money. And you are doing your signature, you are writing phone number also. But as soon as you gave that note in exchange of something to somebody else, you do not have any relation left with that note. That's gone. There is no more further attachment left. So same way, different people also in our life, they come and go. There is another story. Once one woman had so many cows. So she will take care of the cows. She had so much affection for the cows. So she will let the cow graze in her garden and kind of serve them nicely. But then at some point of time, she was in need of some money, and she sold one of her cow, okay, to some other neighbor. Now, as soon as the cow is sold, earlier same cow, she has so much attachment, okay, so much affection to that. But now as soon as the cow is sold to somebody else, there is no further attachment or affection. Now this cow belongs to somebody else. Now the same cow, few days later, as she is grazing somewhere, she entered into this previous owner's garden and started grazing. And this lady comes with a stick and start beating this cow. The new owner comes and say, hey, this cow, this was your cow only earlier. You had so much affection. Now this cow has somehow by mistake come to your garden and you're beating her up. Now, because this cow is not my cow anymore. This is your cow. Now, how can she come and graze in my garden? So the same person, same cow, earlier so much affection, but now as soon as that sold to somebody else, there's no further affection. So these are some of the examples to teach us how we should deal with different relations also. As long as somebody is there, yes, we need to show affection, but somebody has come for a particular duration only in our life. And for some reason, if they leave, if you lose them, you should try to pacify yourself with the help of these instructions from the scriptures. We become too attached to people, and somebody is trying to leave in the sense not that they are dead or gone, leave in the sense they are moving away from you also. It's painful. Tomorrow your son says or daughter says, now I want to go live somewhere else by my own. Okay, now I'm working somewhere else. I want to move there and I want to buy my own house. I want to live by myself. And it may cause so much pain, isn't it? Because of attachment. Even devotee community also, we sometimes become too attached. Somebody is coming to our program and they should come to this program only. In general, guidance is yes, one should honor that system that okay, somebody is guiding you, cultivating you, show your kind of a loyalty or stick with them. And if there is some difference, try to resolve with mutual understanding. But if for some reason they are moving away, or maybe the job has changed to a different city, they have to move, and you become too attached. "Arey, why you want to move? You will find a job here. Just stay here only. Why you want to move away?" Or if for some other reason somebody says, "Prabhuji, now I want to go to a different program. Maybe I like that other program better. I like that devotee better. I want to move there." And you say, "Prabhu, see, look, I spent so much time on you. I cultivated you. I spent so much time. I gave you so much guidance. And now you want to leave me? No, no, you have to stay here only." But use the same philosophy, right? Our purpose, our goal is to help the person move closer to Krishna. If for some reason they feel better connection somewhere else, we should honor that system also. We should honor their desire also and let them connect with some other devotee. Maybe they can grow better there. So in multiple situation, we can see how we can apply this principle, how we can apply this philosophy. So this child, he spoke to Chitraketu Maharaj, and after speaking, this child is again gone. Now Chitraketu Maharaj has understood, and he requests Narada Muni and Angira that please guide me, please help me how I can develop my connection with the Supreme Lord. And we heard that Narada Muni gives one mantra to Chitraketu Maharaj. He kind of initiates him, give him one mantra, and tells him actually that for 7 days, you continuously chant this mantra, you will be able to see the Supreme Lord face to face. Chitraketu Maharaj follows that mantra which is given by Narada Muni. He chants day and night by just drinking water. Continuously for 7 days and night, he chants this mantra, and he is able to see Lord Sankarshana face to face. And that is when King Chitraketu offers his prayers, that Chitraketu Stuti, to Lord Sankarshana. The 15 shlokas, 15 verses he recites in glorification of the Supreme Lord. So we'll come back to those prayers maybe later. But after that, what had happened? Again, we discussed very briefly. But there are some other lessons also from those also, which maybe we should focus more. What can happen in our lives also. So King Chitraketu, after he pleased Lord Sankarshana, he was now made the king of Vidyadharas. Earlier he was the king of Earth planet. Now he is made the king of Vidyadharas. So he is flying in his celestial plane, and he is being surrounded by so many Vidyadharas. The Vidyadhara woman is the celestial woman. And in the association of all these Vidyadharas, while flying in his plane, King Chitraketu is glorifying the Supreme Lord. He is engaging in Kirtan of the Lord. But because of his 7-day constant remembrance of the Lord, because he worshipped the Supreme Lord, he was given some higher material benefits. He was made into the king of Vidyadharas. In the life of a devotee also, this situation may come. When we start serving the Supreme Lord, we also get some benefits and perks. What are these benefits and perks?
We feel joyful.
Puja, Labh, Pratishtha. Okay. So puja la pratishtha, people will honor you, people will respect you, people will glorify you. You may have some followers also. But if somebody, after receiving those puja la pratishtha, then sometimes we get something which more than what you deserve. And sometimes somebody may glorify you more than what you deserve. In ISKCON, that happens more often. You are glorified excessively. Arey Prabhuji, you are like this. आपके जैसा तो कोई है ही नहीं है. Isn't it? So that glorification comes. People will start, your followers, that are, this Prabhuji is so nice. He sings like Gandharva. He speaks so nicely. So people start respecting you. They start giving you gifts also. It happens, right? People will maybe sometimes gift also. So that is Labh, Pratishtha. And sometimes people will worship also. I know in India, there is a great system, like people sometimes do Bhagavad Katha. And whoever is Bhagavad Katha speaker, they are shown such a puja la pratishtha. People will worship them. They will maybe wash their feet, do their arati, put a nice pagadi on their head, give them a grand mala. So if somebody start accepting all those things and start thinking that, yes, I deserve all this, and that's how they are respecting me, and somebody may become proud also of his position. And if somebody's try to may warn us that you should not accept all this puja la pratishtha, you should stay grounded, and we start feeling envy towards a person who is trying to warn us or guide us, thinking, hey, this person is becoming envy of me because of my success or because of my fame. They do not like my fame. That's why they are telling me to not do like this. So then somebody start becoming a good devotee, these challenges may also come. And we need to guard us from all these challenges or all these opulences also, actually. So what happened in the case of Chitraketu Maharaj, because he got so much success in a short time, he became the king of Vidyadharas. He is flying around with the woman surrounding him, all the Vidyadhara associates. Even though he is doing the glorification of the Supreme Lord, somewhere in his heart, little tinge of pride came. Because when success comes so soon, that also can cause pride in the heart. 7 दिन में भगवान के दर्शन कर लिए. It's a big success, right? People spend their lifetimes. The yogis and all, they are not able to see the Lord. Here, he took the darshan of the Lord within 7 days. Sometimes people come and they tell, Prabhuji, रात को सपने में गोपाल जी आए. मैं गोपाल जी को भोग लगा रहा था, गोपाल जी ने पूरा भोजन खा लिया actual में. Sometimes people will come and they tell these type of stories also. Why? Because they want to tell how great devotees we have become. Gopal ji is accepting my bhoga. He is coming in my dreams. But if somebody has really experienced those things, the sincerity is in not telling anybody. But if somebody is trying to showcase these things, it means they are doing it only for the name, for the sake of fame. If there is really so much love and affection, one will not even disclose these confidential things actually. So Chitraketu, he developed a tinge of pride in his heart. And one time he is flying around on the Sumeru mountain on the region of Kailash, where Lord Shiva is sitting in the assembly of the sages. And what is the situation of Lord Shiva? He is sitting in the assembly of sages. Parvati is sitting in the lap of Lord Shiva. In one sense, embracing Parvati, and he's speaking to the sages. And Chitraketu happened to pass from there. Now Chitraketu saw this scene. And Chitraketu and Lord Shiva happens to be god brothers in one sense. You know why? Because Lord Shiva is also the worshipper of Shankarshan. Okay? Shankarshan is his Ishta Devta. And Chitraketu is also now devotee of Lord Sankarshan. So in one sense, they are god brothers. And Chitraketu Maharaj took the liberty thinking Shiva is doing something wrong. And it will set a wrong example for others. I don't want others to criticize Lord Shiva or took it as a wrong example. Because sitting in the assembly of sages and embracing his wife, even the ordinary person will not do like this. The ordinary husband wife also will not embrace each other in the assembly of others, especially when some sages are there. And Lord Shiva is doing like this. Lord Shiva is such a great person. One good part on Chitraketu was he did not minimize the position of Lord Shiva. Okay? He thought Lord Shiva is so great. He is so renounced. He wears only the ashes from the cremation. He does not have any property, any big house or anything to live in. So he is a very great personality, no doubt about his position. But what he is doing maybe will give wrong impression to others, and other may follow his example, or people may criticize him. So better I should correct him. So that was the mindset of Chitraketu. So he laughed at Lord Shiva's position, the way he was sitting, while sitting on his aeroplane above. So he laughed and then he spoke. How wonderful. Shiva being such a great personality, he's sitting in this way in the assembly of sages. Even the ordinary people, ordinary men and women will also not do like that. They will do it in private if they want to embrace. So his intention was to correct Lord Shiva so that others do not criticize, but ultimately he himself ended up criticizing. Isn't it? He took it as a liberty that I have also become a great devotee. I am also the devotee of Sankarsana, and Shiva is also the devotee of Sankarsana. So maybe I have the right to correct Lord Shiva. So in the lives of devotees also this may happen. Sometime we may take a liberty, sometime to correct a very senior devotee. We see some of their action thinking that this is inappropriate action. Not understanding why somebody is doing this, we may treat it as inappropriate and we take it as a liberty to maybe correct them, which is not on our good on our part. Even though the devotee may not take any offense, okay, they may listen and just maybe ignore it. They may not take it as any offense, but Krishna, he will note down this mistake that we have done. We have transgressed our maryada, right? Our line of code of conduct. So Chitraketu, that's what Chitraketu did. He tried to correct Lord Shiva, thinking he was doing something wrong. Why Chitraketu thought, I have become better in terms of sense control. That was another thought. That somehow maybe I have become better in terms of sense control. I am also in the association of Vidyadhara woman. But I am not embracing anybody. I am not putting any woman in my lap. So I have better sense control. Maybe Lord Shiva does not have as much sense control. So that was one faulty thought process. Another thought process was to basically try to correct Lord Shiva. So what happened as a result? Even though Shiva did not mind any words of Chitraketu, but Mother Parvati, she heard these words of Chitraketu and she became offended. That how dare Chitraketu is trying to find fault with Lord Shiva. Is he now appointed at such a high position that he has the right to correct a shameless people like us? Even Brahma is there. Other great sages are there. Narada is there. They are not finding fault in the act of Lord Shiva. Who is this Chitraketu who start thinking himself better than them? That he has understood dharma better and he is trying to find fault and correct. So Mother Parvati became offended and she cursed Chitraketu. That I curse you to fall from your position immediately and become a demon. You have to take birth as a demon. And that's how Chitraketu had to take birth as Vritrasura to relieve from this curse. So even though now Parvati Devi cursed Chitraketu, immediately Chitraketu came down from his plane. He paid obeisances to Mother Parvati and the good part on the side of Chitraketu now. Okay, even though he made a mistake earlier, but now what did he do? He did not plead with Parvati that no, please forgive me, or please do not curse me like this. This is not what I meant. This is what I meant. So he did not start pleading with Parvati. He said, of course, my intention was not to hurt you. I know as a chaste wife, you cannot tolerate the insult towards your husband. But my intention was not to insult Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva is a great personality, no doubt. So I accept your curse. Ultimately, in this material world, everything happens based on one's previous karmic reaction only. So I accept your curse. I am ready to become a demon. I will fulfill my leftover karmic reaction and I will continue my journey towards the Supreme Lord. So last time I mentioned, in the life of a devotee, this situation may come, you are progressing, and sometimes some situation may come and you take a U-turn, right? You take a detour. And then again, we have kind of, earlier you were only 1 inch away from liberation, from going back to Vaikuntha. Now you are again miles away. Because Krishna also will test us. Right? That is also in one sense test of Krishna. That how much we have progressed, how much we are serious and sincere. And this test may come because of, sometimes the situation may come really because of some leftover karma also, but sometimes situation come because of as a test also. And that test may be, Krishna will test you, are you really fully dedicated and surrendered? Sometimes some sickness may come, some disease, some such situation may come. And how sincere we are to continue with our devotional practice at that time, or we think, now I need to take a break. I don't want to do anything. Or sometimes this also happens. Krishna will engage Maya to test us in such a way that either inside our mind these thoughts will come, or through our relatives, other family members, these sort of talks will come. Krishna will test you how much faith you have in this process and in the devotees. You become sick, as an example. Okay, let's say you become sick and you are at your home trying to recover. Of course, your family is there with you, but let's say if the family members start telling you, you see, you were doing so much service. What did Krishna give to you? Did anybody from temple even came to take care of you? See, we are the one who are taking care of you now. So at that time, what is Krishna doing through Maya? Krishna is testing you how much you have faith in the devotees and in the process. Of course, the devotees are not there to help us in every situation, or of course, they try to help as much as possible. But if somebody somehow is not able to fully be there for you, doesn't mean they do not care for you. We should not take them for granted that, okay, if they're not helping me in this situation or my financial crisis, then what is the use of me being in devotee association or serving the Lord? So all these situation may come, this test may come in this way. But we should understand this is all either because of my karmic reaction, or Krishna is testing me for my sincerity, for my faith. So Chitraketu accepted his whatever curse Parvati gave, and that's how he had to appear as Vritrasura. And as Vritrasura, we heard how he remembered the Supreme Lord continuously. Even in the battlefield, he is remembering the Supreme Lord. He is offering the prayers to the Supreme Lord. And being killed by Indra while he is fully absorbed in the Supreme Lord, ultimately he attained the Supreme Lord. So that's why I thought we'll go a little deeper into the life of King Chitraketu to see so many lessons there. And maybe in the next session we finally do the Stuti, Chitraketu Stuti, the 15 verses sung by Chitraketu. ग्रंथरा श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय. Hare Krishna. Any questions, comments?
Sorry, First of all, thank you so much. You are covering so many points, like so many insights. What kind of situations, what kind of lessons we need to learn from this Bhagavatam story? Because these are not only the pastimes to hear, but we really have to apply them in our real life when we face any situation.
Right.
So, really, thank you, Prabhuji, for covering this in this today's class. Roji, I always feel difficulty in understanding the meaning of disposition.
Hmm.
So, how how we can perceive this disposition?
So disposition is nothing but basically understanding so applying a particular characteristic in our behavior. Okay, so this disposition of detachment, disposition of renunciation. So basically accepting how we can understand the principle of detachment and apply in our life. So that is the disposition of detachment.
So, this disposition word is used in very much different contexts.
So
like-
disposition is basically position and disposition. Right? What is disposition? What is my real position? So my real position should be I should stay unaffected by some such situations of life which causes misery, be it because of attachments, because of losing somebody, because of maybe my own health or something. So how I stay unaffected by those situations and how I maintain my real position as a servant of the Supreme Lord.
So always we should understand it like what is my real position as a servant of the Lord.
Right.
Because in first canto, this position is this word is used mostly in context with the Parikshit Maharaj. So disposition of Parikshit Maharaj.
Yeah, so disposition is basically the attitude. Right, in one sense we can say attitude also. What is his attitude? Attitude of submission, attitude of surrender, attitude of detachment. So you can replace that word with attitude also. Like, what is our attitude? Because the most important thing is attitude. No, attitude word can be used in a wrong sense also, right? But what is our real attitude should be? कई बार बोलते ना अरे उसमें attitude बहुत है. But what is the attitude word meaning? So the real attitude means understanding your real position and accepting that, but working based on that. So yes, you do not want to develop the attitude out of ego, pride. That is wrong attitude. जब हम बोलते हैं ना उसके अंदर बहुत attitude है, that is primarily meant for अरे उसके अंदर ego बहुत है. He is working at the level of ego and pride. But there are certain things we say, yes, I developed this attitude with such a great difficulty. I don't want to give up this attitude now. What is that attitude? That attitude of your self-respect, your attitude of your confidence as a servant of Krishna. So some attitude is good to have, which is based on your true identification.
So that is our disposition.
Right. Okay. So as Mataji said, the whole purpose of listening to these different narrations from Bhagavatam and other Puranas, other scriptures, is not just listening to the stories and understanding the story or right, knowing the story. The real purpose is learning the lessons, life lessons from these different pastimes. And when such situation come in our life, if we can remember those situations that, okay, I have heard similar situation in the life of such and such devotee from the scriptures and how they acted in that situation. So taking a lesson from that and then how we can apply those, how we can deal with those situations in our life also. Yeah, ultimately, we need to come to that level of understanding. Not just that, okay, I know this story. It's good to hear the stories. So as a children, It's okay just to at least hear the story and know the story. But as we grow, we need to understand the deeper meaning behind those, with the life lessons from those. Because nobody's going to teach you these life lessons in your school and college, right? That's why people fail in life, because they have not learned how to deal with such situations in life. And when such calamity come in life, they fail, they give up. They are completely broken to the level of committing suicide and completely breaking up their relationships. That's why earlier time in Gurukula, the whole education was based on scriptures. Even they are teaching your Arth Shastra also, that's based on scripture only. They are teaching um, politics also based on scriptures. So all these things, all these different fields are based on scriptures only, with the life lessons. Yes, Mataji.
Prabhuji, it can come out like a silly question, but I just felt like in Chitraketu Maharaj's life, I mean, Supreme Lord has sent Angira Mani, Lord Narada, and a lot of work has been, like hard work has been put by the Acharyas to make him a pure devotee. So, what was the qualification of Chitraketu Maharaj? Like, not everybody will get that favor from the Supreme Lord. So, is there any quality that we should learn from Chitraketu Maharaj that the Lord will favor us as we will?
Okay, good question. So, what was the qualification of Chitraketu that he was given such a favor in terms of great sages coming? It is the unconditional mercy of the Lord. King Chitraketu, being a king, is a representative of the Lord. Right? As a king, he is a representative of the Lord, and he is a pious king. Not that he is doing sinful activities. So he is a pious king as a representative of the Lord, taking care of his citizen. And Lord is making all this arrangement for King Chitraketu to go higher. As soon as Narada Muni comes, actually, what the word Narada Muni uses? That you are a great devotee of the Lord. That's how Narada Muni addresses. That you are a great devotee of the Lord. It's not suitable for you. It is not befitting you to be lamenting like this. So in one sense, Chitraketu was a devotee, but he was not having that level of maturity in terms of detachment, renunciation. So he was affected by these material relationships too much. Ultimately, what does the scripture says? Brahmand Brahmite kono bhagyavan jeev Guru Krishna Prasad paya bhakti lata bij. While wandering in this material world for lifetimes after lifetimes, with mercy of Krishna and Guru, we get the seed of bhakti. So why Krishna chose us to become devotees? What is our qualification? We can say that also, right? You can take that as a question also. Chitraketu received the mercy of the Lord, that Narada Muni came, Angira came to give him guidance. Same way, what is our qualification? That Krishna is making these arrangements in our life, the devotees came in our life. We come in touch with such great teachings, knowledge from the scriptures. So what is our qualification? It's mercy of the Lord. So there is no point to trace back, oh, what may I have done in my previous lives that now I'm in this great process. Best is, let's take to this process seriously, understanding that how valuable it is, and move forward. Right?
We all are mercy case.
So we also have received the mercy of our previous acharyas. We can say they're causeless mercy. We do not have qualification. If we start thinking, maybe I was very qualified, that's why I got mercy. We should always think I am such an unqualified person. But it is their causeless mercy. Ahetuki, right? We use the word ahetuki kripa. Ahetuki kripa means causeless mercy. I am not qualified, still they gave me their mercy. Is that okay?
So what happened to Chitraketu Maharaj Raj Dharma? He was a king, right?
Mm-hmm.
He was handling his praja. Like after that, I think he gave up everything. And
Bhagavad doesn't go into that much detail. After King Chitraketu became the devotee, he was made the king of Vidyadharas, but happens to his own kingdom.
Yeah.
Of course, somebody may have taken over. There will be somebody, one of his ministers or somebody from the country who will take care. So we don't have to worry about all that. Okay.
Srivas Thakur.
Hmm.
That's at a very high level, actually,
Yes.
for us to understand it. And I mean,
Yeah. So we are not saying that you also should do the same thing.
yeah.
So, but the lesson is not having too much attachments. At that time, whatever is your responsibility as Pitra Dharma or something, you have to do. Somebody has died in the family, somebody has left, you have to take care of those things. But ultimately, not getting affected too much, even to the level of rejecting the Supreme Lord. अरे भगवान ने मेरे साथ क्या कर दिया, एक ही पुत्र था उसको भी छीन लिया, मेरे दुश्मन है वो, I don't want to go to temple anymore. So one should not get into that level of rejecting the Supreme Lord because some misery came in my life, so I reject the Lord itself. But at that time, whatever is my duty, okay, I will fulfill that duty, and then I will continue with my process, my service to the Lord. Okay, so thank you very much. We'll end it here. Hare Krishna.
Vrindanath Prabhu ki
Shri Prabhupada ki jai.